Happy New Year's, everybody. It is Sunday evening, and it is just my husband and I celebrating. So I am going to make us some little veg out type stuff, and hopefully we can make it up late enough to get our New Year's Eve kiss in. I don't know, but let's get started. The first thing I'm going to make is some no-bake cookies. Okay, I've got all of my ingredients laid out. Now these things are super duper finicky, okay? So the first thing that goes in, and I found this, I don't remember where I got it, but it is a Come and Dine cookbook from Free Will Baptist. I have no idea where I found it, but it might have been in my grandmother's stash. My dad and my grandpa, my grandpa was a Free Will Baptist minister, and my dad currently is. Sorry, I had to get some water. So it could have come from her. I don't remember. But the first thing I'm going to put in here is 1 stick of butter. 1 stick of butter equals 1/2 of a cup. We're just going to throw that in there and let that get melted down. You add your first 3 ingredients, which are your butter. You get that melted down. I'm going to let this butter get melted real quick. You know what? I'm just going to do it all. These are so finicky though, guys. I get nervous making these because they legitimately are very extremely finicky, and you can absolutely mess these up to where they don't set. Sorry, I had to get a little marking out of that butter. So 1 stick of butter. I'm going to get that melted down. I have 2 cups of sugar, and it's actually 4 ingredients that I put in here. And then 1/3 of a cup of, is that 1/3 or 1/2? Yes, 1/3 of a cup of cocoa. I went ahead and pre-measured these so you guys wouldn't have to just go through that process. That makes for an awful long video when things like that are done. Get that stirred up, and then I am putting in 1/2 cup of milk. That's going to go right in there. All right, so you cook these up. When it starts to boil, this is the part you do not want to mess up, okay? You do not want to mess this part up, because this will mess up the whole thing. You let it boil for 1 minute. So I'm going to let this do its thing. When it starts bubbling and boiling, I'm going to look at the clock and make sure I only allow that to do that for 1 minute. So I'll be right back. Okay, so it has started boiling, and I hit my microwave on. I didn't do the timer because legitimately you have to be so careful with this stuff. So I'm letting this boil. When my microwave goes off, I'm going to pull it off of the heat. But until then, I also, I froze some pizza dough that I had made up. I'm going to make a little pizza tonight too. So I've got that sitting out. We have about 20 seconds or so left. I'm just going to stir this a little because I don't want it to get burnt on the bottom. And when that microwave goes off, I'll slide it right on over real quick, and we'll be done. We've got 3 seconds left. I'm going to go turn the heat off. All right, so now I'm bringing it on over. I am adding a tablespoon of Spanish Molina vanilla. I am also going to add in about 1/2 cup of peanut butter. This is all natural peanut butter from Sam's. It is the Sam's Choice. I'm going to get that mixed in. I'm going to stir this in and let it get all mixed in, and then I will add in my 2 cups of oats. And once that is done, I'll portion it out on my baking sheet. Okay, I've got the peanut butter all infused in. Now I'm just going to add my 2 cups of oats. And just kind of stir those in. Make sure they all get saturated in that yummy goodness. I really hope that these set up, because if they don't, I will cry. I've made them before and they've been real runny. So, we are hoping, I feel like I need to add a little bit more oats to this. Let me add just a little bit more. I'm probably just going to do about 1/4 cup more of the oats. You have the zoomies, Sadybug? Huh? You have the zoomies, my little sweet girl? I think my little puppy has the zoomies. She always seems to get the zoomies right when I start recording. I don't know why. I guess she wants to be a star too. All right, you get all these mixed in, and I will be right back with my little sheet. Okay, I have wax paper and a baking sheet. Of course, I'm not going to bake these because these are no bake, but I'm going to make some rather large ones. I'm just going to scoop them out on my sheet, and then I'm going to let them sit until they hopefully thicken up. Okay, y'all, the lighting isn't real good. Let me see if I can fix that. There, that's a little bit better. Okay, so it looks like I think they're gonna set up. But I got this baking dish and this baking dish, so we're gonna wait and see what they do. Okay, while the cookies are setting up, I'm going to start on the pizza. Just getting a little bit of flour out. I had the pizza in the refrigerator, the pizza dough in the refrigerator for a while, and I'm hoping that it's going to be warm enough for me to do something with. If it's cold pizza dough, you can roll it and roll it and roll it, and it'll go right back. So when you're making pizza, you need to try and make sure that you are getting the dough as close to room temperature as possible. I'm looking for my rolling pin and I cannot find it, so what in the world could I have done with that? And then once I get that situated, I am going to start on the sausage balls. I do believe, okay guys, I'm just going to have to do this with a cup. Don't judge me. I have no idea where my rolling pin is. Alright, so let me get a little bit of flour on that. I have my oven preheated to 445. All I'm doing is putting flour on the outside of my cup so the dough does not stick to my cup. I'm going to form it to this cutting mat, and then I'm going to transfer it over to the pizza pan. And I'm going to put this on a silicone baking sheet. It's not going to be exactly the shape, and that's okay. This is just for me and my husband. I'm not really trying to impress anybody. I'm just trying to fill bellies. This dough is unbelievably easy to work with. I'm pretty impressed. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and spray my little silicone baking sheet, and transfer this dough over. This is just going to be a standard flat pizza. All right, there we go. See if I can somewhat shape it to the baking mat. We can do it. All right, now. Okay, now I've melted half of a stick of butter, and I'm going to wash my hands really quickly. In the half of a stick of butter, I am going to put in some Trader Joe's garlic salt that I have ground up. That's probably about a tablespoon. And just a little bit of nature's seasoning. Not much. Just a little. And I've got some Parmesan cheese. That I am going to put a pretty decent amount. This is kind of like crazy bread. You know, when you go to Little Caesars, you can have them make your pizza crust crazy style. I did not know that until one of my really good friends had told me. She's like, yeah, all you have to do is ask for it to be crazy. So that's just a little bit of useless knowledge for my people out there in YouTube land. But for right now, we're going to crazy it up at home. All right. And I want to make sure that I get the edges around the crust edge done up. My husband is trying to help me over here. Am I doing it to your liking? Okay. He's not feeling too well. But he's going to brave it until midnight with me because he loves me that much. All right, so now this pizza sauce is from Food Lion. It is the absolute best. I mean, the absolute best. It is so delicious. So I'm just going to use a little bit of this. And then tomorrow, I think what I'm going to do is make up some freezer pizzas with the rest of it. That way, all my husband has to do is just pull it out of the freezer and he can just bake it. But most of the time, I'm home with him. Now that my shift has changed, I absolutely love it. Okay, we're saucy people. Now, not everybody likes this much sauce, but we do. Because we're saucy. All right, and this is just going to be a standard pepperoni one. So, he's sick over here, guys, but he got jokes. You don't want nothing special, just standard. We are going to just put some pepperoni all over this. Now what I really want is some mushrooms on my side, so I am going to go in the pantry and see if I have a can of mushrooms. Okay, I did have a can. I'm going to have to make sure that I get some more of these added to my grocery list because I think this is my last can. And I like to put a lot of garlic salt on mine before I put them on my pizza. So I'm just going to mix that up. And I'm going to let that sit for just a minute to kind of marry in. But while I'm waiting, I can take my mozzarella and put it on the pizza. We are cheesy people too. Cheesy, get it? Literally, we are. but ching. We do be liking a lot of cheese up in here. So I am going to just sprinkle the cheese around. And on my half, I'm going to add now typically you would put the mushrooms on under the cheese, but I'm going to show you the method to my madness. And I'm putting this whole can of mushrooms on mine because I love them. I mean, I love them. All right. But no, I get those, you know, those cake cardboards, like the round cardboards that people put layers of cake on. I get those, and I make my freezer pizzas with that. I mean, they work out fantastic. All right, so now what I'm going to do, and I do that so I can make sure that I get my side, that it doesn't get confused. Now I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of cheese on top. All right, and this is going in the oven for about 20 minutes. I have to make sure that I look away from that oven because my daughter just did my eyelashes and they will melt. Okay, while the pizza is making, I am going to start on some more sausage balls. And I'm just using the rest of my sausage that I did not use at Christmas. And I have been told to put more Bisquick and more cheese in them. So, there we go. All right, just keep that there. I normally do just cheddar cheese, but I do not have just cheddar. So I'm going to have to take my glove off and put a new one on. And I'm going to have to use, I have Colby Jack. Get a new glove put on, and we will be in business. I really don't measure, which is one of my biggest downfalls. I don't measure. But I need to put my onion powder. Okay, here's some smoked paprika. And I'm going to mix this in with my Bisquick. Well, goodness, I have been dropping things literally all day. Goodness gracious, I don't know what my problem is. Right. And I'm going to do, now this is probably about a cup of Bisquick. Just maybe about a teaspoon of paprika. And probably a tablespoon of onion powder, a little bit of garlic, salt. And I'm going to mix this up. This good and mixed up. I could just shake it. Probably be better and faster. Now I can't get the lid off. Struggle busing tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. All right. Get this good and mushed up. I would normally make more, but again, it's just my husband and I. I'm gonna cheese them on up. He said he wanted more cheese. I put about a cup of cheese in there, and I'll probably end up putting more in. But I'm gonna get this stirred up first and mixed up in there before I put in this quick mix. You can put egg in here if you feel like you need a binder. I'm not. I'm just gonna fold this Bisquick in the meat. And I'll be right back. All right, so now I am going to spray down my baking sheet. I'm just gonna scoop these out. Just like that. I'm gonna spray this too so they don't really stick. And I'll be right back. All right, these are ready to go in. And I am just going to put them right beside the pizza. I need to stand as far back from that as I can. There we go. All right, and I'll be right back when everything is done. All right, guys, and this is the New Year's Eve spread. I know it's a lot of food for just me and my husband, but my kids are coming over tomorrow, so they will help us eat these. And the cookies turned out fantastic. I am going to go ahead and try one of them. Oh yes. Those are really, really, really good. I'm so proud that they set up. All right, guys, that's it. I'm gonna feed my husband and get this kitchen cleaned up because it is a mess. I love you guys, but Jesus loves y'all so much more. Serve him in this new year. Happy New Year.